2, 1.
Welcome to Actionable Intelligence. I'm Eric Greitens. It's an honor to be with you tonight, and man, this is going to be a big night. As many of you saw yesterday, here on this show, our team led a series of stories regarding allegedly incriminating materials on Hunter Biden's laptop. They were part of what appeared to be a clear scheme of the Biden family to profit from Joe Biden's time as vice president. Mayor Giuliani, along with New York City's former top cop, former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik, brought evidence to police in Delaware. Now, Democrats have not disputed that the Biden emails are accurate, and some are calling Hunter Biden's laptop with all of this information about the Biden family potentially profiteering from their time in government as the hard drive from hell. Even as Hunter Biden's business partners have admitted that the emails are genuine, the mainstream media has largely ignored the entire issue. And your big tech censors like Twitter and Facebook have both censored reporting on this important issue. Again, the big picture issue here is this: are establishment politicians and their families potentially profiteering and even breaking the law? Well, here with us is former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik, who helped Mayor Giuliani compile the evidence that was delivered earlier this week. Commissioner, bring our team up to speed, please, on where we're at right now.
Well, listen, I think there's a couple of things going on. One, the evidence that the mayor and I took to the Delaware County Police with regard to concerns we had over child endangerment, that was provided to the authorities about 4 or 5 days ago, and we understand that they took the evidence that we gave them, which consisted of 30 to 40 photos, I would imagine, and a number of emails and text messages. We also gave them an entire hard drive that they could go through to look at additional photos and evidence as we saw fit. We understand that they took that evidence, they gave it to the state attorney general's office, and in turn, on the following morning, the state attorney general turned it over to the FBI for investigation. We know that the FBI had that hard drive, the actual laptop that hard drive came from, as of December 9th, 2019. What they did with it, we don't know. But I'm pretty confident at this point, there is an investigation going on, because there's a mandatory reporting requirement in the state of Delaware if you come across any type of suspicious activity with regard to child endangerment, sexual exploitation, or anything else like that. You're mandated. Anybody is mandated to turn it over to authorities, and that's what we did. So they have that. There's a number of sources now, as you may have heard. The president today is taking Tony Bobulinski, who was one of Hunter Biden's former business partners. He's actually taking him to the debate in Nashville. Bobulinski has come forward and said, I am one of the business partners. Some of these were my emails. We did have business dealings, and Joe Biden was involved. As a silent partner. He identified his nicknames, how they would classify him on emails, things of that nature, which is continued confirmation that the evidence we had within the hard drive is accurate. Not to mention, Rudy Giuliani has a number of emails and text messages on the hard drive that relate to business dealings between Hunter Biden, Chinese authorities, and other countries that his father was getting kickbacks for. So that's kind of where it is as of this point. And we'll see where it goes from here. But the bottom line is Joe Biden is compromised, extremely compromised. His family. If you think about what happened to the president back in 2016, they had a phony, made up, fabricated the Steele dossier, and they kept saying that Steele dossier, the evidence in the Steele dossier, compromised the president. Well, we now know that was all fake. It was false. It was created. It was fabricated. But this isn't fabricated. This stuff with Joe Biden is accurate. It's real. It's confirmed. It's an ongoing thing. You know what? This is a big problem for Joe Biden and him becoming president in the United States. He just can't.
Yeah.
He's too vulnerable.
And we've had, to make sure that all of our viewers are following this, we had a Russia collusion hoax, which was proven to be false. Now, when this story is coming out, and the Democrats themselves, they have not disputed that these emails are authentic. You have Hunter Biden's business partner himself saying these are authentic emails, and yet at the same time, you've got big tech censors who are trying to push the story off of the front page. It's really a shame. And I want to get your reaction here to what Vice President Biden said on the campaign trail about this issue. Let's go ahead and play that.
This is the same garbage Rudy Giuliani, Trump's henchman. It's a last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family.
So he doesn't dispute any of the facts. There are emails. There are emails where they actually say they're talking about a remuneration package, money that they're going to take as part of a deal that they're making with a Chinese energy firm, and they say that they want to keep 10% aside for the big guy. He's not disputing any of the facts here. He's just kind of calling names. Your reaction to that?
Well, Bobulinski actually says that the big guy is Joe Biden. That was the nickname. He was either called, big guy or the chairman. Hunter would refer to him as the chairman. The bottom line is, I think I would strongly suggest that Joe Biden doesn't say anything else publicly regarding this, unless he's just going to answer it out, because the more he talks, the worse it's going to be, because eventually, at some point, there's going to be a conclusive investigation, and the criminality that the mayor and I have seen, and others, the investigative staff that have seen in this in the hard drive, is overwhelming. So, unless there is really, truly a two-tiered criminal justice system in this country, somebody's going to have to be held accountable, and I strongly suggest Joe Biden just keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. So, Commissioner, just in the last 30 seconds that we have here, knowing what you know about investigations, this is obviously one where there may be some political interference, but if this were a proper investigation, what would the next steps be, and what kind of timeline are we looking at? Again, in just 20 seconds or less here.
Well, it would have been, grand jury subpoenas to everybody involved in the emails in the hard drive, and the people that's coming forward now. That should have been done months ago. Hopefully, they'll catch up, and they'll get it done as needed now.
Folks, that's Bernie Kerik, former NYPD commissioner who carried this country through 9/11. Commissioner, honored to have you on. We look forward to having you again. Folks, coming up next is the Sit Rep. The most important stories around the world and also here at home, especially some interesting stories about the Space Force. We'll be right back.